Hey, you know me. It's Dr. Cheryl Bryant Bruce, MD, the Celebrity Doc. And we are here with another exciting episodes of Chatter That Matter with Let's Talk About It with Hurricane H, our super co-host. And I am here with exciting, fabulous, and fly Elgin Charles. Now, Elgin, I can't say enough about you, so I'm going to let you make your introduction because you have a long and fabulous history.
Well, what you wanted me to say, a little bit about myself.
Are you single?
I am, actually. I'm single. I am single. I'm not married, put it like that.
Okay. All right. That's two different things, Elgin.
No, it's not. Okay. Look, I got enough rings, so I don't know what to say.
Okay. All right. I hear you. Well, Elgin, for those of you who have been up under a rock somewhere and don't know who he is an extraordinary hairstylist who has a salon in Beverly Hills. He is the hairstylist to the stars. And Elgin has a fabulous line of products and has done some of the most spectacular heads out there in the industry. He also was married to the fabulous Jackie, for those of you who are old enough to remember the show.
Yes, that's right. Look, you know who you're talking to, huh?
All right. Of course I do. And again, you know, Elgin is absolutely fabulous with hair. I came across Elgin probably within the first couple of weeks that I made my way into Beverly Hills.
Really?
And had my hair done in Texas at the shop of someone who we will not name, but it was a disaster. Had just a major hair disaster and was not thrilled about having anybody up in my head. So I asked around for who was the best in the industry, and one name kept coming up, and it was right in my hood. So I strolled on down and met Elgin.
Wow, that's incredible. I didn't know the story. How you ended up coming to the salon? No, you know, you get clients that come in and you're just trying to do your best to make them feel good and make them look good. And sometimes you're so busy, you don't get the back end story. But it's good to know that. And that was like how many years ago?
It was a long time ago.
Yeah. I've been in Beverly Hills since 1996. You know,
actually, that was in probably 2006 when I came. Because I was over in NoHo for about 6 months. So yeah, that was 2006 transitioning into 2007 when I came by the shop. And I will tell you the honest to God's truth. I must have walked by that window 20 times before I actually came in, because I was just so gun shy about
intimidating. It was a salon full of a whole lot of Black people. Actually, the citizens used to come and just look through the window like that when we first moved in. They were just like, you know, but that was the favor of God. And it gave me the opportunity to work in Beverly Hills where I felt comfortable. That was part of my dream when I was in beauty school, that I wanted to work in Beverly Hills and I wanted to be like the Black beauty assassin. Who is that baby?
This one's Mitzi. This is
Hi, Mitzi.
They are, well, now the other one's here too. These are our minor show hosts. They run the place.
They're adorable. Oh,
and this one's Rosie.
Hi, Rosie. Rosie's cute.
They are going to be on my.
What kind of dogs are they?
Both of them are poodles.
Poodles. Okay. Yeah. I had a Havanese.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. They are, you know, those are our kids.
Your babies, I know.
Those are our babies. So let's get right into the meat of it. One of the things that all of the women want to know, and the men too, is how do we keep a healthy head of hair? How do we keep a healthy scalp? And what does that mean to have a healthy head of hair? Talk to us about what this hair thing is all about.
Well, hair is very vast. It's hard to pin it down because there's so many variables when it comes to hair. Mm-hmm. You said, how do you keep a healthy hair? One is by maintenance, making sure you use some good shampoos and conditioners on your hair. Ones that are good for the hair that are sulfate-free, paraffin-free, organic. Something that's going to be not heavy on the scalp. And you also have to understand the different kinds of shampoos. There's the clarifying shampoos, which is good for the scalp. That really cleans the hair very well. But sometimes it can be a little drying to the hair. So you should follow up after that with a moisturizing shampoo. And if you have a good moisturizing shampoo, you can only use that because it can be nourishing to the scalp as well if you don't have any buildup or anything like that. Now, if you suffer from growing dandruff, people have that problem. We call it growing dandruff. You may call it something else.
What do you mean? What do you mean by growing dandruff? What is growing?
Some people have thick hair and you look inside and you see a whole lot of flakiness, and we used to call it growing dandruff. So we have to scratch it off, put it through stuff, try to clean that scalp. And when they come back, it still kind of builds up again. And I just continue to, take care. I've tried different kinds of shampoos, or I'll have them go see a dermatologist and get the medicated shampoo and use that. But that's a serious, more severe problem. But the hair, the scalp, we have natural sebaceous glands that secrete sebum, and that's our natural oils for the hair and the scalp. So you want to make sure that the follicle is clean so that it can secrete those the serum throughout the hair.
Now let's talk about that a little bit, Elgin, because back in the day, I mean, one of the first things that you did, you got your hair washed, and the first thing that your mama did was to slap a bunch of grease up on that scalp. Was that healthy for the scalp?
Well, I digress a little bit about this because, some of our history of doing things worked, But from a professional point of view, and I would say that it did not help because it clogged the pores in the hair, in the scalp. And then you couldn't get the moisture in, you couldn't get it out, and it clogged. But it gave it an appearance of healthiness because of the oiliness. And then on the hair, and see that, but when you take all that oil off, it's dry. It's lack of moisture. Okay. So the key is to keep moisture into the scalp and into the hair. And that comes from great products. But then we came through a period where everybody was into the essential oils, and those are different, a little different than heavy oils. And I got into them a little bit and tried to understand them more. And when the women decided to go natural, they was using a lot of that to put on their hair to kind of help maintain it because it is heavy. And you can use it to kind of control the hair and stuff like that. But there's a fine line between it because most of the times when they're using all those products, they still say my hair, for 2 days it's good and then it's just dry and I don't know what to do with it. So it could be a problem because you're just trying to get the hair to absorb the moisture. And ethnic hair or black hair is different. The difference is that our follicle is flat. The hair that grows out of our follicle is flat. It only has two sides to it. Asian hair is round all the way around. That's why it shines so much. Okay. And then in between the flat and the straight hair, the round structure of the hair shaft, you have triangular, you have in between triangular, you have all these different things, and that constitutes for the curliness of pattern of a person's head. And so black hair is growing out like this, real coily. That's why it can be down here and you stretch it and it can still be up here because it just turned into. And sometimes the hair can get down inside underneath and cause like a blackhead or a clogged sebaceous gland. And then you have a bump. Have you seen that before?
I have seen that before, and I will take this moment, because this is a health show, to say when you get that bump, don't go digging in that puppy with a dirty pin. You will end up with an infection, and it can be bad. So,
so what do you suggest?
Okay, well, what I suggest is if you have the proper tools, which you can purchase those, where you can gently lift that hair up out of that,
okay, that's cool.
out of that sebaceous gland, but it needs to be sterilized. Particularly because it's on your head. Most of the time you can't see your head real well, and you can end up doing a lot of damage. So it's better to have someone else, like a professional.
Thank you.
Handle that situation for you. So don't go digging after those blackheads. And I mean, they're the same with blackheads on your face or anywhere else in your body. You're going to set up an infection.
But this is like an ingrown hair.
It is. Let that professional go in and handle that. And again, as you said, those blackheads are coming from clogged pores, that pore is clogged, and so that hair can't get up out, or it's coiling down into the skin because it is so coily. So again, a professional needs to.
Same thing with razor bumps and all that other stuff on the skin. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Now I do have a tip for folks with razor bumps, though. Used to deal with those when I was in the Army all the time, because the soldiers had to, they had to be able to wear their hats and their gear and the whole bit. And they had to stay close shaven. So we dealt with razor bumps a lot. And the thing with razor bumps is when you shave, again, a clean face is just paramount. Make sure that you cleanse the face really good. When you shave, take a clean, sterilized toothbrush and lightly brush against the grain of the hair, because what's happening is the hairs are coiling back into the skin because they're curly. And once they coil into the skin, this feels Rosie, come, please. Quiet. Come. Good girl. She's a good girl. Okay. She's protecting the house because we live at the end of the hall. And so everybody that goes out, it actually sounds like they're coming into our apartment.
Oh, okay.
She's like, I've got
to protect
against the intruders. So anyway, I was saying that you take that toothbrush and you lightly brush that hair up out of the skin, and continue to do that for a day or so, because it will have a tendency to kind of want to curl back in. But each time that you do that shave, make sure that you brush it out so that it's when it does curl, it's above the skin and doesn't break back in, and that will help to.
That's a good tip. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that's good. So anyway, let me talk about. People always ask me, how can I get my hair to grow? All right. Mm-hmm. And that has been a problem, because they say it doesn't grow. And I'm like, look, the hair grows an average of a half an inch a month. Okay. Mm-hmm. And if it does that, and you see your roots, if you have roots, you do color drive, you see the roots coming in. So you can't say the hair is not growing. I mean, come on.
Stop talking about me, Elgin.
I'm not talking about you, but you got a little roots there, but it's okay. It works for you, girl. It's called wisdom. But the problem is that the hair is chipping away at the ends, and you cut it, and then it still has a tendency to do that because it can be dry. So and relaxers are damaging to the hair. The Jerry curl, the cold wave are damaging to the hair because it breaks bonds, and you have to put a lot of stuff to try to keep it together. And over the long run, you kind of like end up with a problem. So, and that happened to me.
Why are the relaxers damaging to the hair? How do they damage the hair?
Because it goes in. It's like it's eating away the hair, but it does go in and break down the bonds in the hair shaft. But it's also, eating away the hair. And sometimes if you have like a porous spot in the hair, it can eat too much and kind of cause breakage, or it can eat away at the hair. But they put a lot of emollients in them and stuff like that. And you're supposed to only do the regrowth as you do it. And you can maintain it, especially if you're setting the hair and stuff like that. And also not so much heat. And we're into a lot of heat these days. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times you're thinking you're not doing any harm, but you are when you're curling that hair. And then, it looks pretty, but as you comb through it, it's kind of chipping away because it's heat damage. And relaxers is damaging too. It raises the pH on the hair. When it comes out, it's like what is a perm? It's like what, 16s? It's high. It's high. It's up there on the pH. It's very, So, and then the different strengths is sodium hydroxide. It's lye. On good hair, they took some real lye and stuck it in a can of Coke in there and ate through the can. But that's severe lye. They don't do that with relaxers. They tame it down and they put a lot of emollients and make it healthier for your hair. And we've been using them for years. I love them. I still love them today. But I've gotten every time I do a relaxer to myself, I would pretty much have a little anxiety because one, you want to make sure you don't scratch your scalp. You want to make sure you put some oil on it. You don't want no burn, and then you don't want to overlap too much and different things like that. And it could be a problem. And so it was always stressful. And so what happened to me is that I've been praying on an alternative for years. And I was like, I thought about this old product back in the day called Vigorol. It's like a solution you put on the hair, you press it out, and it'll make it straight. But if someone right with it, it went off the market. So then I heard about this product called Keratin Botox. Have you heard about Keratin Botox for the hair?
Not until you told me about it. So give us the skinny.
You mean you haven't heard about Keratin Botox?
You are getting ready to inform us, educate us, and definitely you will entertain us.
I will entertain you. They call it edutain.
Edutain. Edutain on the fly here, because I do because we've spoken. I do know a little bit about this, and it's exciting. I was really impressed as I've given up the relaxer, and I was really kind of excited to hear about this. I probably won't be going back to straight anytime soon, but if I do, I want to know that there is a product like this that I can go to instead of messing with those relaxers, because damage, you've been there,
Oh yeah, of course. Well, think about this product. It's really in the category of a conditioner. It's not considered a harsh chemical like relaxers or the keratin protein or the, they have a thio relaxer too. Rust has one or something like that. It's very dry. And, they change the bonds in the hair shaft. They alter them. This product does not do that. It does not change the bonds in the hair shaft. So the hair stays the same, but it melts into the hair and it tames it. That's why they call it Botox. It's a play of words. When you get Botox, it lasts for like 6 months and you got to go get it again because the muscles start moving again. And next thing you know, you're back to priming and stuff. Well, the keratin Botox is just like that. It goes on the hair and it tames it. And the thing about it, it loves heat. And we use a lot of heat on hair. So when you put that heat on it, it loves it. It absorbs it and it goes into the hair and it coats it. And I tell you, I had a girl come in today. She bought 2 bottles of keratin Botox for her stylist in the salon, as well as 1 for herself. And I got a video. Tell me what's going on, why you like it so much. And her thing was, it stays straight, but when you wash it, you have your natural texture, but it's softer. And when you press it out, yes, it kind of softens it. And if you understand how to work it, you can even get it to where you start having loose curls and stuff, but the hair is still healthy. And it's not like damage from thermal irons. Thermal irons, you can do it so much, break the bonds, and it'll be lean. It's not like that. It's still healthy and it's strong. And you see the length. You wear it for 3 months and you see 1.5 inches of hair. And so immediately your hair is growing and it feels good and it's healthy and got body and the weight is there. I tell you, I mean, God sent it to me.
Okay.
And I played with it. And then it's simple because you shampoo the hair twice, put the product on the hair all the way through, put a plastic bag on the head, sit around for like 25, 30 minutes. If you want to, you can go and dry her for 25, 30 minutes. Come back, rinse it out really good, put it in a hair repair mask, let it set for like 10, 15 minutes, rinse it out, and just start blow drying and styling your hair. And then start flat ironing. And when the heat hits it.
So we're looking at your hair is absolutely beautiful right now.
Thank you.
Is this a perm or is this the Botox keratin?
I have a keratin Botox. I was a perm for 30-something years. Well, since I was 13. And the last year and a half, I've been wearing the keratin Botox.
Okay.
And when I press out my hair, it stays straight. It doesn't revert back, and it has weight to it. Normally with a relaxer, it starts drying out on the ends, and I have to put, moisture, and then I have to wash it more often. I haven't washed my hair since last Monday, so it's been a week and a half since I washed my hair. And I still have weight. I still have body through it, It still feels good. I wrap it at night and get up and just comb it down. I haven't put heat in it since I washed it. I haven't put any heat in it. And
so you washed it and you just put the heat in that once to straighten it out.
I blew it out and I flat ironed it, and I haven't touched it with heat since.
Wow. Okay. Now let me ask you a question, because I know this show airs worldwide, and I know there are some ladies out there who are living in zones that are very humid. And one of those zones, I would go to Houston, and the minute that I would step off of the plane and out into the air, the hair got really, really big. So for people who are living in more humid,
it's perfect for them.
Tropical zones. Does it stay straight with that humidity?
It does. My hair stays straight. I go on a yacht, hang out, and I see other people putting their hair in ponytails because it's starting to swell. Mine is still straight. Think about it. It seals the cuticle. If the cuticle is sealed, moisture can't get in there to cause the hair to revert back. When I go to shampoo my hair and I have to rinse it for a good while for it to finally start opening up to let the shampoo get on it. Matter of fact, it still stays straight until I put the shampoo on it. Then when I put the shampoo on it and stuff, then all of a sudden it starts coming back, but it stays straight. And the thing about it, if you hit it with that heat, and it loves heat, it's just wonderful. Now, you don't want to go too high of heat because, too high can burn anything.
Right.
But it really protects the hair shaft. It's a phenomenal product.
Okay.
I've had ladies come in with damaged hair from relaxers and colors and stuff, and it just brings it right back first time. And when they come back, the hair has grown. On color treated hair that's damaged, you can put it on like a conditioner. You don't have to blow it out and flat iron it if you want to. You can put it on there just for conditioning purposes, just to work like a filler or just to help the hair. But like people who have short hair, they want to texturize their hair and stuff like that, they wear natural and stuff. I say put it on your hair and then kind of blow it out, and then wash it again after that and see how soft the curls is. If you hit it with some more heat and then go back and wash it, it's going to be softer and curlier anyway. So there's many ways that you can use this product. Here it is right here. Bam.
Beautiful. Nice packaging and everything.
Thank you. And then there's a shampoo.
A
conditioner.
Okay.
And then the repair mask is the best thing ever. This is the thing that, and all the products are organic.
So you have 4 products there.
I have 4 products here. That's the kit for the keratin Botox.
Rosie.
So,
Elgin, a couple of questions while Doctor is taking care of Rosie. So that's your brand, or it's
my brand.
It's okay, great. So thank you for that.
Called Elgin Charles, Beverly Hills.
All right. Well,
yeah,
it's funny because I'm listening to you and Doctor's asking this question. I just came from Dubai, and we were actually at the Middle East Expo, like the Beauty Expo, and they had a whole section which was all about hair beauty, and there were artists from all over the world that they were doing demos and things, and they did all kind of work there. That was awesome.
Yeah, I wish I had been there.
They have them every year, so next year maybe that will be trust me, they'll love to have you there. And they have people from Brazil. They have all the different new stuff. By the way, I did see the Botox that you mentioned, the keratin Botox.
Yeah.
But they're promoting it. Obviously, it's a newer thing, so people are getting excited about it.
It's a new thing that's out. It's a new thing, and it's a product, a chemical conditioner that is made. And I was like a little leery about putting the keratin Botox on the package, but that's what it is. You have the keratin treatment, which has formaldehyde and all that stuff in it, which was horrible. People were getting sick from breathing it, and it was just on ethnic hair. It would make it too straight, and hair just straight just like that on the regrowth, you see. And then this product came, and this product here is organic. It doesn't have those harsh chemicals in it, and it does something to the hair. So it gives the professional a way to work it, to tame it the way they want to without over processing the hair. And so it has hit the market, and but I'm bringing it out to the ethnic community as well, because I don't know if they're using it on ethnic, because they can use it on any kind of hair, any wavy hair, any kind. It works on any kind of hair. But for a silk press, it's the bomb. And I don't know any other companies out here in America that is promoting that line or came out with that line, but I'm sure they're going to catch on. But I caught on, it came to me, and I'm selling it like crazy to people because it is really a great product, and it works. I tell you, it sold me, and I got it on my head. So I got to be comfortable to put it on my head because I don't want to, I'm holding on to mine. You know what I mean? I'm holding on to it.
You have a beautiful full head of hair. How does that happen? Because you're not an old guy, but you're not a spring chicken either. But
not a spring chicken.
Yeah, I mean, you're not a 20-year-old, and you have got a head a lot of 20-year-olds would be jealous of. So how does that
jealous?
Okay.
Jealous.
I got short hair.
Yeah, you keep it short. I bet you when you were young, it was beautiful, huh?
Oh, it was. I had a curly. I'm from North Africa, so it's pretty curly as it gets.
Yeah, okay.
My son is all curled up, so.
Yeah, my son got beautiful head of hair too. Hey, you just have to watch them till they get about 26. And then if they're going to start losing their hair or not. Around 26, 27, that's when a man starts having problems, if you're going to have problems with it. But I would say that while you're young, use the proper shampoos and conditioner. Don't wear a whole lot of hats on your head. Shampoo it. A lot of time men want to take the soap and just put it on their head and body and the whole bit. Like, you can't do that. I think I was fortunate because I started relaxing my hair young, and I had this thing for hair since I was born with this passion for hair. So I was always using stuff on my hair, shampooing it, conditioning it, and I came from the day of Superfly. So we had rollers in our hair. My daddy come in the room like, oh my God. He didn't know what to do with me. But anyway, the keratin Botox is a must. And all these women out there are doing these silk presses and everything. The thing about it is that you can still silk press your hair, but then wash it and wear it natural too.
Okay.
And so you have the best of both worlds. It's different though, because the roots can come back on you, what I mean, faster, because this part gets more of the keratin Botox. The regrowth is fresh. So when it grows out, that regrowth may try to revert back some, and then the root. Okay. So you might have a little cushion, but the rest of it is straight. I'm just trying to, give you all the pros and cons to it. But I love it. People are coming to me to buy it. And my formulation, I don't know about the other ones, is the bomb. This thing here, they hooked me up.
Okay.
Doctor,
Go ahead, Harry.
No, before I just one thing. You mentioned something about you washed, about a week and a half. I'm curious because some people wash 3 times a day, once a day. I mean, is that frequency really bad for us? Because, it sounds like you don't have to do it that often to keep your hair really healthy. Are we damaging our hair really by frequent, washes?
My answer would be this. If you have Caucasian hair, you're going to have to shampoo it more often because that hair gets soiled very fast. After 2 or 3 days, and they had natural sebum and all that stuff, it can start getting greasy. So you need to shampoo your hair more often, especially fine hair has a tendency to do that. But if you have coarse hair and it's thicker and stuff like that, and it's curly hair, less shampooing would be better because shampooing can be a little drying. And with our type of hair, we're trying to keep moisture in it. So we will sometimes, in our natural state, rinse it out and add more conditioner as opposed to shampooing and conditioner. You see what I'm saying? But if you shampoo and condition your hair, it shouldn't harm it because the shampoo should be a moisturizing shampoo, which is adding moisture to the hair. And then you come back with a conditioner on top of it, which is a moisturizing conditioner. It's okay. So some people are, they call it AC, they're fanatical about stuff.
Yeah.
Huh?
What you say? OCD?
Yeah, that's it. I'm about to put acid on them or something. But and they have to clean themselves. They have to wash their hair because they feel like it's dirty. And if they have that kind of thing, yeah, go ahead and shampoo and get conditioning. But I don't think it's damaging it. But if your hair is starting to feel dry and it's and everything, then less shampooing would be better. I recommend once a week. If you can go, I have the girls on a 2-week program where they go 2 weeks, and it's not bad. Mm-hmm. And but if you start getting into 3 or 4 weeks, then you might start getting a little bit of an odor. You start getting a scent or something like that. So I would recommend at least a dry shampoo or something like that. Just to keep it healthy, and And when you're dealing with like braids and dreads and stuff like that, you can't really wash your hair so often. So you clean it with different types of like sea breeze, or you can put different types of oils in there and stuff. You can rinse it out and put back into it and stuff just to keep the scalp clean and stuff. And so there's different ways to maintain the hair depending on what type of texture you have and the type of style you have. Now, if you have weaves, a full weave, you can still wash your hair in between, but that hair is going to be underneath there for about 2 or 3 months before you redo it. So I would say that every 3 weeks to a month, you should wash it. Some wash it every week, some every 2 weeks, depending on what they do. But the main thing is to make sure that the braids underneath dry. You don't want to wet them before they dry, because now you can get waterlogged. You can start getting that, you can smell, something in it. So you want to make sure the braids underneath dry so that you don't get that kind of smell. And and also the hair doesn't get caught up with a whole lot of conditioners and stuff in it.
Right.
Thank you.
Now, let's talk about moisture. A lot of people with our hair, they equated the hair being moist with being oily. And again, that goes back to the heavy greases that were put on. And I wanted to kind of talk about the fact that moisture and oiliness are not the same thing.
They're not compatible either.
Right, exactly.
They fight against each other. It's like,
Right.
Well, like I said, okay, I can relate because back in the day, like I said, I'm from the Superfly era.
Right.
I used to use a lot of oil. I used to have some shiny curls. They were pretty and shiny, but they were heavy and greasy. And I used to get all down on my face and get blackheads, because that oil gonna come into your skin. It's gonna come down. When we wore the Jerry curl, that was an example of a whole lot of glycerin products in your hair to keep that curl together and stuff. Because it wouldn't work other than that, because it would just be dry and ugly, and it was horrible. And sometimes it would take almost a month to get the oil back in it. So you didn't wash your hair sometimes for a month with the Jerry curl because you're trying to keep that oil in it. But what's the question?
I got lost in the weeds on that one too. No, the question was about moisture, the difference between hair being moisturized and being oiled. I mean, you
I'm back on
your product having a lot of moisture in it, and the importance of putting that moisture back into the hair. So let's talk.
I say oil in the scalp for some women really makes a difference. Okay, but it should be an essential oil, a light oil that penetrates into the skin, just like putting on lotion or some type of oil on your skin and it soaks in and stuff like that. And when it comes to skin and the scalp, is almost per person, because there's eczema. There's all types of different kinds of things that the skin can get from immune system or from, inherited from family genes and stuff like that. And some surfactants irritate that. So oils really work for soothing that scalp and not so much itchiness on the scalp. So, I don't like to deal with a lot of oil, but my clients sometimes like, look, I need you to put some oil on my scalp before you braid it up for this weave. And I'm like, okay, and I'll do it, and all that stuff. Some people, that's part of the process. But if you're doing a weave and you're braiding it up, it's going to soak it up. And it's not going to be heavy and just be too much. It's not going to be overbearing. So I don't have a problem with it, especially serums to go on the hair on topical and stuff like that, just to keep it kind of moist and stuff. And also it sells products, you know what I mean? But
let's switch gears here for a second, because it's been in the news over the past year. There was the slap heard around the world when Will Smith came up with the slap because of the alopecia areata. Let's talk alopecia.
Alopecia is a very serious thing. It's detrimental to men and women, but men go through it way more than women. But there are a lot of women who have gotten it from, weaves and stuff. They call it traction alopecia, where you braid the hair so much and so tight, because back in the day, the tighter, the better it lasts, the longer. And then we used to take it and sew them together at the top, trying to get a closure and that tightness. And some people are not tender-headed, so they like, well, no, it don't hurt. And I'm like, it don't hurt? Okay, I sew it some more. And I've seen my actions of tightening that weave sometimes cause a scar tissue in the hair where it just starts thinning, and sometimes it dries up and dies. The papilla just dies, and without that blood flow and stimulation, there's no hair growth. So yeah, I think that we should be gentle with our hair. We shouldn't overdo it. We should be mindful. We should have a system that works for us. Just like you have a daily care with your skin, your face and stuff, with the hair, the same thing. And I think if it works for you, it's okay. But less is best. And with natural hair, I find that if I just do only moisture, it's not enough. So I need to do more. So a lot of times I leave the conditioner in the hair. I don't rinse it out. That's the first thing, because then it's soaked up. When you got it in the bowl and you got all that conditioner in there, it feels a certain weight and stuff. It feels good. So as long as you don't have a whole lot on the scalp and the hair is doing good, just leave it in there. And that's working. That's like your leave-in conditioner. Then you can come back on top of that and put some serums in it, some kind of oil in it and stuff like that, because the oil will soak up with that. And then you can start twisting it and stuff. And that when you bring out your braids and stuff, you have a nice curl pattern that's not dry and frizzy, So moisture and putting the oil on top of it, mainly when it's dry, it works, because when it's wet, it kind of fights itself. But if you're putting them under a dryer and you setting it with some oil and some setting lotion, then you can get a soft set. Because if you don't put any oil on natural hair, it's going to be hard and dry. And then the next day going to be even worse. So oils is important, especially for that. And also short wraps. Sometimes you want to put some moisture or some kind of oil-based product on there to keep it soft and keep the edges down and stuff like that. So these are all topical. They're not just going on the scalp, and they're serums and they're lighter, like oil sheens and serums, edge control, stuff like that, has no oil in it. Those I like and I'm all right with. And then the nice thing, all in your scalp, if you're getting a weave or if you have a braids or stuff like that, that's cool too. But you don't want to do that if you're wearing your natural hair, because it's going to be too heavy and you're going to have a greasy mess on top of your head.
And I want to kick in for all of the sisters out there who are wearing the locks. that is the one exception on the leave-in conditioners. You definitely want to put a nice oil on the hair, but the leave-in conditioners actually enter into the lock. And once they get into that lock, anything that lock absorbs, it literally locks in. So if you put a lot of leave-in conditioner in, it starts to build up inside of the lock, and then you're going to get drying and breakage. So that is the one caveat on natural hair, is that if you are locked, you don't want to leave the conditioner in, but you definitely want to make sure that you get those oils protecting those locks, because otherwise, aside from just looking ashy, the lock also will get dry, and a damaged lock is going to break.
Well, it starts off looking dry. You're trying to make it look shiny and beautiful by, doing that stuff and put the oil and stuff like that. So you have to find, it's all good in the neighborhood. You have to work it all together. Because I have products, I had a product called Posh Dress. Posh meaning luxurious, dress meaning, hair, Posh Dress. And it was like they were able to put a water-based oil product. That was hard. They wouldn't make it anymore. They said it was too difficult to make.
Yeah, I was going to say, now, how did that work?
It was like almost looked like it was a white creamy substance, and when you put it on, it's like kind of moisturized, but yet you put it in the hair, and the oil comes through it, and people come and wanted it a lot. But I had a problem with it passing inspection, because that kind of thing was a problem with I guess it was like a breeding ground for bacteria, trying to mix the two. So one batch they made, they had to discard it and then make another one to pass and stuff like that. It was a very difficult product to make. But the clients loved it. They loved it. And sometimes when you sit on the shelves too long, you can see some of the water come up on top of it. This is like years of sitting on the shelf. So,
here's a management question for products, that just kind of raised in my head. Is it better for our hair care products, oils aside, but like our conditioner and our shampoo, is it better to keep those in the refrigerator?
You got me.
It's just a thought that kind of came to my mind.
It'd be too cold. You'll be like trying to shake it out of the bottle. I'm not, no, girl. If it's organic, like really organic, like homeopathic ways. Remember, it got big too, where everybody was taking, some celery and some, and they mixing it together and all that stuff with oil and put it on their head. That I would put in the refrigerator because it can spoil. But regular conditioner and stuff like that, they don't spoil because they have, they make them certain kind of ways. So
stuff.
That's a good question.
All right. Yeah. It just kind of popped in there as you were talking about the bacteria in the product. I was like, well, putting in the refrigerator would keep the bacteria down. So I wonder if I should be putting my shampoo and conditioner in the refrigerator.
You know what?
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, that's actually, I will ask, I know someone who actually works in the industry. They manufacture, products, for hair and stuff. And they're in the chemical work, like they do the chemistry of all these things and the formulation. I'm going to ask, because that's a great question about whether, if you put it in, maybe someone tried it. I don't know. That's a good question.
You can if you want to, but like if it's organic and doesn't have any, made like professional for the shelf and stuff like that, you just put in natural ingredients there and you mix them together to put on your head, like a conditioning treatment. They came up with this one thing where they were taking rice, putting it in a bottle, and they letting it spoil and stuff. And
ice water.
And all that to blow the head, all that stuff stank and all that stuff. I couldn't do it, but for some people it worked. They had grow. They were like, "Oh, I got long hair." So
was it really the rice water, or was it just that they were taking better care of the hair?
No, it's per minute. Did something to the hair, Okay. You wouldn't go through all of that for no reason, but it's amazing with hair. And I've seen over the years, people come out with different kinds of things to cause hair to grow. Taking biotin and supplements and stuff like that supposed to help, all these different things and stuff like that. I say, go ahead and try it. It might work. do whatever you can internally to help the outside as well, especially if you have brittle nails, then your hair gonna be pretty much brittle too. So if you have an imbalance and you need a supplement, go ahead and do it. It can't hurt, because supplements, if you do too much of it, it just comes out in your urine. You just, so it's okay.
Now, I would say though that a lot of people with the supplements, when we start talking about hair and scalp and skin health, they turn towards the supplements like vitamin E. A, D, E, and K are all fat soluble vitamins. All the rest are water soluble vitamins. And what that means is if you take them and you take too much, you're going to pee them out. But A, D, E, and K are not eliminated from the body that way, and they can build up in the fat cells. So if you
take it digested.
Yeah. So if you're supplementing to improve your hair health and you're taking A, D, E, and K, then you have to be mindful of how much of it you are taking, because more is not always better in that case.
I didn't know you took those for hair.
The vitamin E is good for hair, skin.
No, E is. Yeah, I remember that. But the doctor just spoke. Y'all heard that from the doctor. It's above my pay grade.
Yeah,
it's good to know that.
Be careful with that. Yeah, they do have to be careful with that, because you've got the more is better crowd with everything, and it's like, okay, well, if I can take one capsule of vitamin E and it's going to give me beautiful nails, then if I take the whole bottle of vitamin E, then I should be fabulous. And
no, you're right.
Too much is too much.
So what you were saying is that I said you can urinate, they just urinate out, but the certain ones will not just urinate out because they're fatty. So be cautious of that. Yeah. Okay. So is biotin, what is biotin? Is it a mixture of A and E and D, or is it biotin?
Biotin is actually an essential nutrient all by itself.
I thought so.
So it is not a mixture of.
And what about taking collagen pill? These are people that come with me and say they doing these things. I'm like, oh, girl, go ahead.
Collagen is an interesting thing. Our body needs collagen to keep our skin youthful, and our hair needs it for the body and everything. But actually, in terms of ingesting collagen, people are taking the collagen capsules and all. The body, the gastric acids break it down. So anything that we put in terms of collagen, very little of it is actually going to go in and do anything of significance. Applying collagen on the surface layer is also tricky, because the collagen is actually a fairly large molecule, so it doesn't absorb so well. So is it useful? It can be, but is it as useful as people think it is? Most of what you're buying, your body isn't able to really utilize, and putting it on the surface, the body doesn't absorb it as well as people would like to think. So it's not making the kind of difference that people would like to think that.
Right, when you do that. I've used it as in my products. We use hydrolyzed, cartonized collagen protein. This whole thing.
And that's important. That's important. Yes, the hydrolyzed part, because that means that it's been broken down so that the particles are smaller and they can be better absorbed, and they're attached to water molecules and such, so that they can absorb in more readily.
I love talking to you. I love this technical stuff. When I went to beauty school and I started learning all this stuff, my dad was a biochemist, and I tried to follow in his footsteps, but I couldn't deal with all that blood and stuff, so I became a hairdresser. I ain't gonna do that microneedling and all that stuff. I don't want to see no blood. But you're dealing in the hair and scalp, and I know that people get things. They get ringworm, and because my daughter got that ringworm, and she got those big, open, pussy, oozing furuncles in her hair. So I know y'all deal with some stuff. Okay, I don't deal with that. I send them to you. I said, you need to go to a doctor.
Well, you did the right thing. That's what it's supposed to be.
Look, I'm already wearing gloves because of COVID. I'm mad. I'm like, but like lice, I deal with lice because, you put the red on it and all that, but,
right.
I don't deal with it in the salon. I try to, it's just like, you don't want that in your salon.
No.
And sometimes hair comes, the extension hair, that come from India and stuff like that. You have to look through all that stuff to make sure that, it's all about how they clean stuff.
Right.
It's amazing how things that can harm you can get into what you use to try to make you feel better. That's good for you.
Right. Yeah, so, absolutely. I mean, that's actually, I hadn't really thought about that, but that makes sense. I mean, it's not like, if people are thinking, oh, well, they're sending the packages of hair from India and they've got lice running through them. No, that's not what's happening. The hair strands themselves have the little eggs from the lice, the little nits. So I mean, I had never thought about the fact that
that's why you have to have a company that has a certificate and they go through an inspection on everything that they come and all this stuff to make sure that you don't have that problem. But like in India, there's the lifestyle ranges from up here all the way down here, and everybody's at the temple trying to make $1. So you gotta be careful. I've been through a whole lot of different situations dealing with vendors and all that stuff over the years. It's not that easy. It sounds easy, but it's always you got to be careful because I've been through some horror stories just dealing with people, and I have to throw the whole thing away because they bait and switch. Send you some good stuff, and then they send you some. You spend a whole lot of money. It's like, well, this is not what I ordered. I tell you, you just got to be savvy in this industry because it's not for weak people. You have to be strong and understand the business, and it's constantly changing. It's evolving.
Right.
So you have to stay on top of the game. But I love it. I love it so much.
Now let's be a little bit messy and kiss and tell. You deal with a lot of celebrities, and right now trending in the news is Miss Cassie. Have you ever done the hair for Cassie?
She came to my salon.
Okay.
I have a stylist that worked for me who did her hair. I sold her hair.
Okay.
but Maisha, I say it, Maisha, she's a sweetie pie. Does her did her hair for many years. I don't know if she's doing it now because they have, but I'm sure they have a relationship somewhat. So yeah, that whole thing with Diddy and her and what came out and then the settlement and all that stuff, you hear rumors in Hollywood all the time. You can't pick up your phone and look at your social media without somebody coming out against Puppy or Diddy. Now, I think it's love now. But I met Diddy in 1996 when Jackie and I was on our honeymoons in St. Bart's. And he came in and we were on the yacht with Denzel, Pauletta, it was Norm Nixon and Debbie Allen. And they were doing their cruise and stuff. And we were there on our honeymoon and we hung out. And that's when I first met Diddy. Puff Daddy at the time. He was a young kid. He had to be like early 20s.
Okay.
And he was flamboyant and he was talking about how he's going to make his money and that he's already this, that, and the other and stuff like that. So, and I looked at him and I said, okay, he's cool. I met his mom one time in New York when we used to hang out and stuff. And I know he was a hard worker and he really learned the business. And then I found out that Clive Davis is the one that mentored him.
Okay.
And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he kind of taught him, about the whole industry. Is how to get the publisher rights, all these different things and stuff. He learned a lot from him. So I don't know too much, but I was hanging out with Diddy at Clarence Avon's celebration of life with Jackie Avon, and then they did a whole thing, and I saw him there. And he was very clear-eyed, very sober, and he was all about the Lord. He was talking, so he's been working on his inner self. That's what I got from it, that he's been working on himself. Maybe everything that he did when he was young and everything, he's growing, he's changing, and he's trying to, do right because he wants to live. And I know he loves God, but sometimes when you're young and you're hungry and stuff, you can be a little, hard, because it's a hard world we live in.
Right.
And to be a billionaire, there's going to be some hard decisions, some strong whatever that you're going to have to do. You can't be weak to make that kind of money. Mm-hmm. So I'm praying for the brother, and I love the brother, and I hope that I'm just praying that the world don't tear him down like they try to do a lot of our people that are successful. Right. But what you do in darkness will soon come to light, and I just let it roll like it rolls. I don't judge. I just try to pray and try to hold up. And with Cassie, I think she should be happy now, because I think she probably was due what she got, being that she was there since she was 19, and she had to live with a man that was open in his ways. And she endured, and I'm sure it wasn't easy. So I applaud her for hanging in there. I know Puppy Diddy loves her. He even said it one time on the award show, where he was, because he's grown. He's been he's been talking to T.D. Jakes. We love God, but we can love God and still get into this world and do worldly things. So,
and I mean, a lot of people do things in their younger days that they have to grow out of. They learn. I mean, because there were a lot of folks that were a little rough around the edges when they were younger. They've grown into themselves and they've changed.
You can't be soft in hip hop.
Right. Absolutely.
It's all about being hard. Right here, my son is all over here. I'm like, boy, relax.
And we all grow up. We grow
up. He's 50 in his 50s now. So, and he got kids. And when you start having kids and kids start growing up, they hold you accountable. So the things you used to do, you don't do anymore, because you don't want your kids to follow your footsteps. So you change, and he has some beautiful kids. So he's a father too. And and the one thing about, me, myself too, just being a man who has grown up in a world that I have a lot of interests. I'm a hairstylist. I'm a black man hairstylist that already, have certain judgments or things that are on it. And then just wanting to get it all and be successful and all that other stuff. And so I know me better than anybody. That's why I wrote my book. By the way, a memoir by Elgin Charles. Anyway, that's where I
open the cup. Show us the cover.
I put all my stuff in this
Fabulous.
book. Thank you. I put all my secrets, everything in this book is a tell-all about myself, so that no one can come and try to, hold it over my head or try to tell the story for me. I told it.
Okay.
It is what it is. And I'm saved by grace, not by works. I love the Lord, and he has blessed me and gave me favor, and he has utilized me in this industry and put me at the top that I haven't seen other people in my position. And I have opened doors for many of people of color to come in and enjoy Beverly Hills, and all the African-American people can come into Beverly Hills and get their hair done and feel comfortable. And enjoy the environment, because it's a different smell in the air in Beverly Hills. It's just a freshness. I love it. Every day I go to work, it's like palm trees. It's like, Rodeo Drive. It's just glitz and the glamour. I love it. It's a blessing to be able to work in Beverly Hills like I have for all these years. So I don't take it lightly. And I appreciate God for giving me the opportunity, because they could have said no when it came to me leasing the property. They could have said no.
But now, are you in the same location? Because I believe you moved from where I was first seeing.
I'm back in that same location.
Are you really?
God will restore everything. You know what I mean? Okay. They sold the building and got a new owner. And he came in and he wanted me to move upstairs, and it was a lot. So I tried to appease him, because he has control. It's his building. I'm leasing, and my lease is going to be up in a couple of years. So we're trying to, work that out. So I ended up moving upstairs for a while. I hated it. It was the word. I couldn't stand it. So I eventually left, and then the place that I was downstairs where I wanted to stay, that's what the spirit had put in my heart to stay right here. 4 years later came, and it came back available. Meanwhile, I had opened a place on Charlieville, and then I went to Rodeo Drive and opened up a salon right when COVID hit. Right. And I was there trying to partner with another lady. And then that spot opened back up, and that's where I always felt like I need to be. So I went back over there, and they said, "Oh, you ready to come back home?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we can work a deal," you know. Right. And at that time, see, when God put me there, He didn't put me there, even though He's the owner. God put me there because I was the light on that block. And when I left, it was dark. Nobody was written places in the building. It was empty, lease signs, all that. As soon as I came back, there's not a spot available. The whole building is prospering and everything, because I walked around that place 7 times like the walls of Jericho when I was a young man, believing God to get the place. It's not like I got it, just by giving it to me. No, I prayed hard. I disciplined myself. I did everything I was supposed to do as a young man to get to a point where now I could kind of relax and try to enjoy some of the fruits of my labor. I don't want to get out of hand, but but as a young man, these things I did in order to have a firm foundation. So when I left because I had prophets coming to me telling me that God was going to go open up a beauty school. And I'm like, well, part of my vision is I'm supposed to have a salon and the beauty school. I'm not supposed to give up the salon just for the beauty school. That's the way I'm thinking, because we're building. So I acquiesced or whatever, and I tried to go with it. And then it didn't work. So now I'm dealing with all that as far as word of God that comes to you and you believe in them. Sometimes they can prophesy or they can prophesy. I don't know. You have to test the spirits and all that stuff. So I still marvel at that whole decision, because two prophets came and said the same thing. And I was trying, and it just clogged my mind. I'm like, well, maybe I'm supposed to leave. I don't like it up here anyway. So I left. And so now I'm back downstairs. And
so now you're back. And do you have a beauty school?
No. Okay. No, that's part of my goal. I've been working on beauty school for a while. And I'm close. But I haven't done it yet. It's right there by faith. Because I've done a lot of studying on it and different things like that. It's a catch-22, just like getting in the union. You know what I mean? You can't get accredited until you've been there for so many years, so many hours and stuff, and then you can get accreditation from the government to where people can get tuition loans to come. Other than that, they have to come out of their pocket. And most people going to beauty school ain't got money out of their pocket. They need to have, loans or student loans and stuff like that. Or you can buy an existing beauty school who already has the mark, and then you can do it that way. So it's back and forth trying to figure things out.
Let's talk a little bit about beauty schools, because, a lot of people are just kind of under the misconception that you just wake up one day and decide, oh, I'm going to do hair, and you open up a shop, and, just because you're able to whip your hair and make it look good, then that's all that's needed. But, we've talked about there are hair issues and scalp issues that you as a hairstylist have to
understand and know.
Mm-hmm. So, let's talk about what beauty school.
Beauty school, see, when I went to beauty school, it's different than today. It was very comprehensive. It was like we studied every muscle, every skeletal bone. We learned all chemicals. We did a lot. But there's been a challenge against the education of beauty schools.
Really?
Because it has. Because they feel that they should be able to just, if you know how to do it, like you don't have to be licensed anymore. They was trying to take away the licensing of a cosmetologist. I wouldn't go to a cosmetologist that is not licensed. Mm-hmm. Now I know in London you can do hair without a license. You can just open up a shop and do it. I don't know if they changed that, but back in the day, I recall that they were able to do that. But I believe that beauty school is very important because you're going to learn more. You're going to learn the theory behind hair. Mm-hmm. You can be an artist all you want to, but if you don't understand theory and you don't understand the composition of hair and what makes it work and not work and how to keep the scalp healthy and the different things to fight against bacteria or even alopecia through many things that women go through, then you're not going to be at the top of your game. Education is key. So, and plus cosmetology covers everything, not only hair, it covers nails, it covers facials, it covers everything is under cosmetology pretty much. So it is important that you go to beauty college and you learn. And the test used to be very difficult. It's not as difficult today. You don't even have a model anymore because of COVID, different things you can't touch. They want you to bring a mannequin on. I mean, they just really brought it down to where I reverenced it. I'm like, oh my God, it's like, I took it like I was in medical school. That's how I took it when I went, because I was a pre-med when I was in college. So, when I got into hair, it was like, wow. So it's so much you can learn, it's so vast. So you get what you put into it. And if you really want to learn, yes. But yet you can still be a fabulous hairstylist that have a natural knack, know how to make their hair sheen and shine and know the regular shampoo and conditioner and make a lot of money and stuff like that as well. So
now, what are some things that you would tell people to look for when they're looking? Two questions here. What are some things you would tell people to look for when they're looking for a stylist in terms of, making sure it is a stylist who is going to take care of their hair well and protect them from, getting infections and things like that. And then the second part of hair. Right. The second part of that is I'm looking at Hurricane over here. And a lot of men don't take care of their hair as well. I'm gonna just
what are you saying, Doc?
Yeah, no, I mean his is always well done, and I mean he's got these kind of cute little curls on the top, and Hurricane is always looking put together, and that was kind of why I looked at him as like, it's always cute, but you have a lot of
good barber.
Right. And you have a lot of men who don't really take care of their hair as well. You see men and women, because I know that because when I used to go in the salon to get mine done, Earth, Wind, and Fire used to roll up in there and used to always, yes, he used to always bump me out. I know that, men do come to the salon. What do you say for men to look for as well? Not, No,
it's very important. Men hair care is very important. I mean, these barbers are getting like $250 a haircut. They have built their clientele to that level, which is really good. How long does it take to do a haircut? You do 10 of them at $250, you got a pretty good amount of money every day. So So they become celebrity stylists or celebrity barbers and stuff like that. But their craft is there, and they're getting a celebrity clientele. They're working hard, and so they're making the bucks on it. But they're barbers, and a lot of times they don't understand scissor cutting and different kind of balancing and stuff like that. Especially if they're leaving it long on top. I can barber, but that's not my expertise. I mean, they make me do it because some people got to sit in my chair and they want me to do it. And I'm like, okay. So I sit on down and I get into it. But it's not, I'm not like that barber that they know what, I'm an artist with it. Give me a minute, but I'm going to hook it up and I'm going to bring you on down to it. It's going to be right in the end. But it's going to, it's not what I do every day. But men should understand that there's different things out there that they can get, like minoxidil, and there's also products with finasteride in it, which helps hair growth for men. I was fortunate to be put on finasteride, didn't even know it, but my doctor told me later, I got you on this finasteride or whatever, and you know why they give it to me, right?
Right. We don't have to get into that though.
Okay, we'll have to get into it, but
if
I don't know.
If you want to talk about it, then everything goes on this show, so we can talk about it.
We've heard a few.
But anyway, I digress on that one. But those supplements like that can help hair growth too. Keeping the follicle clean is very important, and I think now the hair transplant is very good. They're doing that. It's working even for African American hair, because a lot of times it wouldn't take on average, because I guess because it curled up so fast, or the follicle the way it is and stuff. But just just take care of it. It's like a garden, it's like a lawn. And if you get some spots where you're having some problems with it and stuff like that, I would say immediately try to take care of the issue. If it means putting some kind of injections in your head or whatever, go to the doctor, try to figure out a way to retard it, to bring it back and stuff like that. With dermatologists, they give you stuff to help you. And try that. And then if not, there's always hair club for me.
Right.
I think I'm gonna be soon, seeking those services.
Oh look, they got it down now. You wouldn't know.
Well, either now I have to go to Turkey.
You have to go down for the for the
that's the hub right now. Everybody goes to Turkey to get their
India, because it's cheaper. It's like $35,000 to $5,000. You can have it done.
Right.
I didn't know about India.
Medical tourism is hot.
Yeah,
it's big.
But that being said, I mean, that is a real thing. People are going to these different countries to get it done, less expensively. But if you are going to do that, and there's nothing wrong with doing it, if you are going to do it, make sure that you are going somewhere reputable,
and certified,
and safe, and safe. Because I mean, we all heard about the chickie that went down for the BBL down to Mexico, and ended up in an unsafe situation, and safety is an issue in some of these countries. So you have to make sure you're going somewhere where you're going to be safe, and safe both in terms of your immediate physical safety, but also safe in terms of the service that's being delivered, because people have been, that's why we have shows like Botched, because people have
It's true.
Actually, I've had friends who actually did that in Turkey, and the experience was great. I mean, they're good. Supposedly they know what their craft is.
They know what they're doing.
They know, and it's working. You see a lot of people with bandages at the airport. So
I know what you did. Like you see a lot of bandages in Beverly Hills.
You got to go through the process, right? So doctor, question for you and for Elgin. This is about damage. Well, I would call it like color in the hairs. I mean, I'm a guy that's getting older, and ultimately the white hair comes up. That's one thing that people do, but I think women do that as well. They do. I think they do a lot more than the guys. I'm just being nice, right? So that's one.
I'm sure about that. We always assume that the women are doing
I didn't say that.
More. But
they're doing it more, doctor.
No, sir. My experience when I'm doing the cosmetic work, I actually have a higher population of men doing the cosmetic work.
Listen,
in my chair, I got a number of women.
well, again, listen,
You're fine, okay? So they're coming to see you.
Listen, think men are coloring their hair more than women?
Do I think men color their hair more than women? Actually, I think it's probably pretty even Steven now.
Because I think they're both vain. They're both vain. Men are just as into it as women. I personally think that men are
more vain than women. I mean, I had sons, and judging by my sons compared to my daughter, I think that men can be more vain than women. And I mean, gosh, my electric and water bill go up ridiculously every time my son comes home to visit. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well,
they do take long showers.
Yes, they do. And I'm not even trying to ask what they're doing in those showers. Okay. So, my son spends an inordinate amount of time. He comes into the house, and then the first thing he does is he stops in the mirror and he's primping and looking. So I think that you all are.
A young man is definitely going to be into his looks, and he should.
Wait. Time. I think midlife crisis hits. You start getting up there. You actually do that as well. I'm sorry, I've been there, and I think I'm still going through it. So you start looking at things that are not supposed to be there, or they have been losing their effectiveness or their looks. So you start being conscious about your looks. And
so what is your question?
That's true. I mean, the men come into my office, and one of the things is, women worry about losing that beauty, but men worry about losing the appearance of virility and strength. So, they're competing with other men, and, the young bucks are trying to come up, and, they're puffing up on the older guys, and they're like, okay, dude, you're old and we're going to move you out of the way. It's the, the lions fighting for
it's true.
So they come in, they're concerned about, the wrinkling. They want to keep a youthful look. They're concerned about losing that hair. And they ask, they ask me, how do I take care of my hair? How do I not lose my hair? And they ask about the finasteride. We do talk about finasteride. And one of the things that I talk about with them is like, you can get onto these finasteride products, but they also have side effects. And one of those side effects is that your masculinity may not function as effectively. So then
don't tell me that. My hair or my
that wasn't my question. My question was about like the damage that is done by colors to the hair, especially if you don't have a lot of it. And also bleaching the hair. Because by the way, one thing, Elgin, you're gonna love this. My daughter, she's on her 4th year, she's a senior in high school. She's done 4 years of cosmetology at the high school. It's a program in Jersey. So you talked about the schools and stuff. So I guess some states have that. She loves this stuff. She's got her hair by Nima. That's her thing. She's doing it. She's working. She wants to have her salon. I mean, so I'm listening to you. I mean, I hear you. I mean, she's like, that's all she does. I mean, she wants to have her own thing at home just to have it. So I get it. But the kids, or even older folks, adults, there's this whole thing about coloring the hair more often. And I know, according to what she says, and I've seen it even in her hair, I mean, it damages,
coloring is very damaging.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, especially
bleaching. Especially bleaching. I mean, bleaching is...
bleaching is real bad. Yeah. But that's why I got to carry the Botox, bring it right on back, just like that. No.
I love it. But you know what? That's exactly what the question is about. What are our measures against it? Like, can we do good, look good without having to have the damaging effects?
The thing about it is you have to know what you're doing, because bleaching, if you don't know what you're doing, you can bleach the hair all the way off. It turn gummy, fall on the floor and stuff like that. So you have to be know what you're doing, and then you have to add more protein back to it and try to rebuild it back up. Most people that wear bleached out hair is short, because it's hard to have long bleached out hair because it chips away and all kinds of stuff. Or they have extensions in their hair or something like that to kind of make it look long. But if you have thick hair and you are a natural blonde, dark blonde, then the bleach takes better and comes up, and you'll have to cancel out all that red. But if your hair is real dark and you try to go real light, most times it's just going to break right on off as time goes on. So good luck with that, because you're stripping the hair of all its color, and it's just so porous and dry. But I have clients, but like I said, if I have clients with blonde hair, it's easy to do blondes on gray hair. You see what I'm saying? So usually when they start having a lot of gray, they start going blonde. They go lighter because you don't see the gray as much. It's easier.
Right.
But if you're dark, the roots come in so much, and you have that dark and then that colored hair. Me, I'm allergic to color. I have to wear gloves. It breaks me out. I didn't. I mean, first it didn't do that, and then all of a sudden I developed an allergy, and I went 5 years of my hands swelling up, blistering, and I couldn't figure out what it was, and the dermatologist couldn't tell me. No one. I just discovered after a while when I got rid of my assistant and I started shampooing myself and I started putting on gloves. I realized it was the residue from when she shampooed the color, and they came and I touched it with my hands. It was getting on my hands, even though it didn't look like it. And I ended up blistering. So I figured that out. So now I wear gloves. And I tried some magic shave on my mustache one time, and it just like, I swole up.
Right. Right. How often do you see that happen with clients that come through that they're allergic to the dyes or even the perms and stuff?
I have clients that are allergic to permanent color or anything that has ammonia and peroxide mix. They're allergic to it. So we have to do more like a cellophane or a beautiful brown, that kind of stuff that stains it. I even break out from some of those. You know what I mean? When I get it on my hand, I kind of break out from those. I'm really allergic to color. But
now, I remember when cellophanes first came out, they purported that they were healthier than regular coloring. Is that the case?
Yeah, because there's no ammonia and peroxide. It's just a coating. It stains the hair. So you put it on there enough with enough heat, it'll penetrate underneath the cuticle into the cortex, and that becomes more of a permanent color once it penetrates through the cuticle. So I had clients like, I put like, they tell me like, I can't have that on my head because I break out. So I make sure I don't put it on their head. And then I think I've had times when people say, I'll try it. And then they end up at the emergency room trying to get some Benadryl and stuff like that because their hair broke out. I mean, because they swole up. And it was like, when they come back, they look normal, And so we know not to use that kind of color. But the thing is to do a patch test. If you never had color, do a patch test, make sure. And then if you don't break out, proceed.
Okay. All right. Now, if you do a patch test, what do? Have them come in and get a little bit put on and then come back?
Come back in 24 hours. They'll tell you when they get home. I mean, mine was instant. By the time I got home, I was scratching. I was like, so yeah, because you get that breakout. So then you don't do that. You don't put the color
now,
on.
what about, it's all the rage now. You see, it used to be the kids, but now you're seeing grown men and women with the pinks and the reds. And, are those damaging to the hair?
Well, it's bleach to get it up there. You have to take it to a certain level. But then you're going back with color and you're filling it up and you're making it healthier again because you're putting color back in it. You see? So it kind of helps make it okay. And then, like I said, when we talk about the different strands of hair, like round hair, now Asian hair has a lot of nitrogen and sulfur in it. It's very similar to black hair. That's why when you put a permanent wave on it, it's like that on Asian hair. But Caucasian hair has a lot more carbon and oxygen in it, so it has more moisture. So on Caucasian hair, you can bleach it up and do all that stuff with the reds and blues, and it looks okay. Our hair, we can bleach it up and we can go into the reds and stuff, but usually you put some kind of extension in there to make it even longer and stuff like that because it's just that bleach is hard on the hair. And over time you try to wear it and you put heat on it and stuff like that, it's going to chip away. Just bottom line. So you do the best you can to try to hold on to it. And then if it gets too bad, dye dark and fill it all up and then you start growing it back out. But if you're a natural blonde, have fun. If your hair's strong and got a nice, like if it has some kind of diameter to the hair like this, and it's more of this, it can take bleach and color much better. But our hair that's like this is just flat. And you go there and bleach it, it's no place to expand. It's just, it's difficult, And I deal with clients.
Inquiring minds want to know, are you coloring? Are you going to answer that question, or are you just going to smile at us?
Talking about me. Well, I don't know. I mean, my wife is actually literally, she wants to do it. She's like, I need, it's funny. She makes fun of me all the time. Like my eyebrows, like half of them are white. So in the light, you can see half and you can't see the other one. She's like, I want to, get this done for you. I'm like, girl, I'm not into it. Like you talk about man, being vain. I'm, one of those that least vain. I mean, I like to look good, but like some things I'm like, it's natural. But I have to say, having a nice full set hair, bro, I told you, I'm not jealous, but I envy you, man. God bless. I think there's a difference there. I mean, but really I like the haircut I've had. I've had it for years. This is just my look, but slowly but surely, I have a set of pictures. And I'm looking at them, and the hair is just getting less and less over time. And now it's getting to a point. My daughter makes fun of me. And here's the thing: this haircut's been going up and up and up to match up with that little bald spot in the back. So now it's like I'm getting to the point where I have to do something. One is the color. The other one is probably fill in some blanks. Going to a doctor, a doctor did say there's some serum that you can put in, because I still have enough to work it.
Yeah, you still have it. It's not all gone. So get it. Might as well start doing it now if you want to keep it. Other than that, you have to do a Kabbalah and start, shave it all off. And then, you have to deal with the growing in and all that other stuff. So I would say go ahead and get the serums, put it on there, fight as much as you can to keep it on your head. And coloring it is not bad. Just use a semi-permanent color. Look like my batteries though.
Okay. All right.
You hear me?
We hear you.
You sure can. Okay.
I got it. So I want to make sure that I'll follow the lead here. I mean,
but you know what they're doing now? They're tattooing. They're tattooing the hairlines and stuff, trying to make it look natural and stuff.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that. Right. If you I want to do it. I want to do it right. So I want to grow some stuff. I mean,
I understand. Well, you still have some. Don't worry about it.
Start early. While you still have the follicles. While you still have the follicles that are active and all. Once you go bald and you lose it, then it's hard to stimulate and to trigger it to come back, and you really are looking at transplants. But you'll have follicles that are active. You can do things, put serums, and you can do a little bit of steroid, and there are things that can stimulate that growth.
Well, here's the fun thing, right? So, I have it looks bald from the side. That's actually this here. The back of my hair is actually full of hair. This is not where if I actually keep it up, I will be nicely puffed. It's the top that's losing a little bit of a mass. so I try to give the volume up, but so by shaving the sides. So, but that's and by the way, this is all white, so makes nice little charcoal looking, spicy pepper going on. so I put them in flames. It's lit up. So I look at myself like, And by the way, it does take 10 years down. I can guarantee you. This look versus the other one. So with the color, I will gain my 10 years back again.
As well.
There you go.
Well, just try to find a color that is not too dark and not too harsh. And you also have to realize the regrowth. Because if you have a lot of white, within a week, you're going to see this white under I don't know what to call it.
It will come up quick.
This underglow, white underglow.
That's just the light, baby.
But then that you keep your hair so short, it should be a problem. Just put it on the top and shave the back. And also, you can even try different kind of sprays that cover the hair. And it'll be more temporary. Wash it out every day and you kind of spray it in and stuff like that. And you don't have to do a full color or in between the color. You can do that.
Listen, I have no choice. Yeah, the wife is on my case. So this show is definitely making the seal, and she wins.
I was talking to Elgin earlier, and I was saying that I actually do have a product that will return color of your hair. It's a stem cell peptide and growth factor product, and it entails microneedling to introduce it to the scalp, but it actually does restore color to the hair, and it actually
growth.
re-stimulates the growth. So if you have areas, again, you have to have areas where the follicles are still alive and active, but if it's thinning, we can apply the serum and do the microneedling process, and it will actually stimulate the hair to grow back in.
I might have few clients for you.
Okay.
I got a whole bunch of us, same age range that are having difficulties now. Talking about midlife crisis, that's the only problem. Like, I can deal with the wrinkles, that's just, it's cool. But the hair thing it messes up a little bit.
Yeah. It's hard. It really is. It's the difficult thing.
True story. I go to my barber and I tell him, "You're my youth guy. You take 10 years of my life every time. you take me back in time." Like, I walk in with some nice light, and then I go in, I go dark.
Then he's doing his job.
He's doing his job.
Now, let's ask you a question about that, because that is a concern, because, the population right now looks like a mushroom. And the cap of that mushroom, the bulk of the population, is an aging population, midlifers and above.
Yeah, because we're living
so we do have all of those concerns and questions about, graying and what's going to make us look older, or, what can we do to look younger? And one of the questions that comes up, particularly amongst women, is, does it take more age off of me if I take my color lighter or if I go darker? What is your opinion on that?
Well, the way it is said to us is that the older you go, the lighter you go with your hair, and the shorter you go. Mm-hmm. Me doing extensions and all that stuff, I said, not necessary.
It's all the way down to my behind now.
Sometimes, if you have your face is still, you can put some dark hair on you and it looks good and make you attractive and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then there's ways to put, ombre and different things like that to try to bring color and stuff like that. But you don't have to necessarily go blonde or go lighter and cut your hair off short. That was just something that was out there, and people were like, oh, you're supposed to do that, but not necessarily, because women of color, number one, their skin complexion and skin itself is different. So you put some hair on them, they look as young as their daughter. Because it's all about that hairline coming back in, framing that face, giving you a crown of glory. And then that face is like, just beautiful. And but like I said, normally they tell you that's what you're supposed to do. So I say, if it's making you look younger, do it. But if you find like you look older and it's not really helping, then, bring your youth back and keep your look. As long as you keep that youthful look, and people still see you from when you were in high school or college or stuff like that, and you still got that appearance on you, then you're winning. But if they come and you look like, whoa, what happened to you?
Right. So my heroine right now is Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart is 9 gazillion years old. And she's just her and Dolly Parton, they're fabulous.
Yes,
they're fabulous. Yeah, they are fabulous. And Martha was just on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and folks were throwing rocks and saying, "Yeah, but she's had work and she's got this and she's got that." I'm like, and she still looks fabulous. Okay, so whatever you need to do to make yourself look and feel fabulous, that's what you need to do. I mean, I'm not mad at you. If you got to get a little nip tuck, if you got to get a little color, whatever you need to do to make yourself look fabulous. You need to stick a little weave up in that hair. Hey, it's yours if you bought it, So whatever you need to do to look fabulous, go for it. Feel good.
I agree. I mean, this is the part. I mean, talking about health and wellness and glamour and stuff. I mean, beauty is part of us, right? I mean, everybody needs to look, as great as they want. And by the way, I think it's got talking about, this is a health, channel primarily. I think we lost Elgin.
I think we lost Elgin.
Yeah, we did.
There for a second.
Yeah. Well, so one thing, doctor, is that this is also playing on the mental status, mental state of things and the physical things. Because if you look and I'm not seeing what I used to see, it affects your mind, and that can affect your body. Then you let everything go, and then it just it's downhill from there. That's the way it is. It's not an.
There he is.
There, he is back. While you're gone, we were just talking about the mental, aspect of when we lose, our appearances, right? Because it starts affecting the way you think about yourself, your own, self-image affects your mind.
Oh yeah,
and then affects your body because now, like, I'm too old, I'm crappy, I'm not feeling good. Then you start like just dropping the ball on everything, and it gets worse, and we don't want that.
Yeah. You can't be still. You got to keep working. You got to work out. You got to keep it going, because if you don't, gravity is no joke.
Ooh,
it's not a friendly. It's not a friendly.
It's not your friend. It is not your friend.
It's trying to take you back to the dirt.
That's right. That's right. And that really is important, that you stay vital as long as you can. I mean, think about it. We're all working so hard and we just can't wait until we hit retirement. But what happens when we hit retirement? Some people hit retirement and they stay vital and active, and they're busy in the community and they're doing this and they're doing that. And then some people hit retirement and they're like, oh, I'm just going to relax. I'm going to sit on the couch and I'm going to do nothing. And they're dead within 5 years. They've lost that vitality. Everything goes to gravity, and then you go to ground. So it is important to stay vital and to take care of yourself as best you can. And if you want to maintain the appearance of healthy longevity, it's a process. You have to work at it. You have to, pay your dues. You have to go in and get that hair whipped on a regular basis if it's going to stay in your head and looking good. And, as we age, that's a time when we may need to invest a little more into going to see the Elgin Charleses of the world, because we can't necessarily take care of it in the same way that we did in our more youthful days. And I mean, you talked about the moisture. That's the time when we may need to invest a little bit more money into a fine product like yours that has more moisture in it to keep that hair from drying out, because, hair and everything else dries out as you age. So you've got to put that moisture back in. So, again, tell us again about the products. And
the products are wonderful. It's a shampoo, conditioner, and a repair mask, as well as the Keratin Botox, which is the miracle product that I love so much. And it really works with your pH in your body, and it really helps stimulate hair growth. And it moisturizes scalp, so you don't get a lot of dandruff and stuff like that. And it's just a well-rounded product that is really well made. Manufacturing of the product where you have it done is very important too. So you want to find a good company, and my company is really outstanding. Back to one of the things we were talking about as far as aging, I find out that diet is very important as well, and everything through moderation. And when you're getting older, you have to make sure you take care of all of the categories. One is eating right, grooming yourself, exercise. Don't have to be a lot of exercise, but you have to be, consistent with it. Keep the body moving and stuff. Keep yourself mobile. I've been on my feet for so long, I ended up with a hip replacement. Do you believe that?
I've had 2.
Oh, well, good. Good, yeah, girl, we're right there. No joke. But, it's like, but thank God for science and stuff like that he can put you back together and get on out there and keep on going.
I'm bionic,
You took the words out of my mouth.
Bionic woman.
Right.
Yeah, that was a great show.
One of my favorite shows right there.
I know.
But that's the key to, making sure your appearance is together and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of things. If we're not
in Beverly Hills, how do we get your product?
Oh, you can go on to elgincharles.com and get it. Or you can go to any of the social media and put in Elgin Charles, and it'll direct you right to my website. My book, you can get at elgincharles.com, but also at Barnes & Noble and Amazon. You can get it there as well. And the link to my YouTube is EC Beverly Hills. And all of my social media is just Elgin Charles.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I'm going to promote the hell out of that thing.
Yeah.
I said, we're going to promote it. Listen, I love this stuff. I mean, my wife and I, we do have something like we do the argan oil, the Moroccan oil. So we
argan oil, yeah.
So we do that. So we're into that.
You guys need to connect and promote each other, because you guys both have great products going. So let's support everybody. And it's not here yet, but I have a product coming out, skincare product.
Yay!
I'm very excited about it. Actually, not only does it make the skin look good, but it actually improves the health of the skin. So
good.
I love it.
I know you're excited about
it. We got to talk.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yeah. Well, I love good skincare products because they're very important. And I have a T-zone areas in here. And a lot of times it's from the products that we use. And, we used to use a lot of silicone-based products. We're not doing that much anymore. But they were real popular. And you're doing the hair, and you touch your face and stuff. And I was getting chapped up in there. So I had to find certain kind of products that wouldn't irritate that zone. And so I'm not going to say what kind of products I use, because it's not important. We're not doing that. But good products are important. So I would love to check out your products when they come. And it will be great.
All right. Excellent. So again, you can get the book and you can get the products on the website. The website we'll have the links, we'll have the social media links, everything will be posted with the show, as we always do. And as always, if you have any questions, you're having difficulty reaching Elgin, you want to make an appointment with Elgin and you don't know how to reach him, you can always contact myself and Hurricane, and we're happy to be traffic cops and direct traffic for those who we bring onto the show, because we want to see them grow and to thrive. We bring on people that we can definitely support and who are doing great things out there. So.
And also, if you need extensions and wigs and all that stuff, I got all that too. It's all on the website.
All right. Good deal.
This is so much fun. I enjoyed this interview. It was great. Thank you so much for having me on.
It's Elgin, a pleasure, man.
Thank you for joining us. Hurricane, do you have any last questions that you want to ask Elgin?
Oh no, I mean, I think I've covered you covered plenty. I think we went all over the place there, and we covered a lot of grounds. But yeah, I mean, I love the discussion, and thank you for giving us some real stuff from professional level. I mean, the top
some chatters that matter.
Exactly. Oh, that was good. That was good. Doctor always asks for a shout out. That was the shout out.
We always ask for the drop, and he gave us the drop.
That's it. We got our drop.
We appreciate you.
Well, thank you so much.
All right. Well, again, thank you very much for having. Thank you very much for joining us. And we appreciate your time. We appreciate your work, and we're behind you, rooting for you. And we'll be looking for more from you in the future. For those of us, our guests who have been out there watching, thank you for joining us. You have been listening to Chatters That Matter. Let's talk about it. I'm Dr. Cheryl Bryant Bruce, the celebrity doc, and I'm here with my co-host, the host with the most, Hurricane H. Thanks for coming and joining us. We are on the air Monday and Wednesday nights, and then we do have the radio broadcasting on Tuesday and Friday, right, Hurricane?
Same nights, Monday 9, same times, exactly time. So radio and video everywhere.
And plus we are everywhere. Pretty much any platform you can think of, you can find us on that platform. And if you should miss the episode, these episodes will re-air, and they're always evergreen on good old YouTube. We have the radio broadcast on Spotify, and like I said, we're everywhere. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for sharing this experience with us. If you're enjoying the show, like it, share it, hit those subscribe buttons on both of our channels, and we'll just keep it coming for you. We love being here for you, and you're what it's all about. We're here to educate, inform, and entertain. Chatters that matter.